can't find it. Hey, folks. Going to chill for a little bit and let everybody get checked in. And I was trying to find another link that I was going to post in here in a bit. So I'm going to flash over to another page real quick. You guys won't be able to notice, but you might have seen me distracted. So I'll be back in a jiffy. Come on. Not that. Just to get you loose right there. It's not it. Not going to happen. Come on. Yeah, this is it. All right. Alex, what's going on? Oh, I got it, Alex. I just had a bad rotation. There you go. There you go. Now you can see the label. So I got it happening there, Alex. Jason, how are you doing? I know I do need more screens. I have like 3 at work that are huge, and I just have my 1 here. So, yeah. What's up, Philip? Hey, Amy Bean, check it in. Says Kids Cup repping. All right. Here's what I was looking up. This is some random song that came on while I was riding today. I do listen to Left Lane Cruiser a little bit, and they're a little different, probably a little different than what I normally listen to. But this song came on. It cracked me up because one of the lines was talking about drinking. It said Miller Lite to get you right, and here you go. Boom. That's for Scott, my boys up at Wichita Falls. Ryan, what's happening? All right, I'm going to go ahead and get moving. We got quite a few people checked in. I've already goofed off for almost 3 minutes. So let's get moving. Corey White, Weekly Wizard Update, 522. Little known Wizard fact. I love Campbell's SpaghettiOs and raviolis. I ate raviolis and SpaghettiOs from Campbell's only now. I won't do the other brands at lunch all the time. So, I don't know. I get crap for it all the time because I eat so poorly, but I don't know. I could do better, but hey, it tastes good and it's convenient. So, there you go. Now you know my secret. Jeremy Black, what's happening? Oh yeah, well I'm here, and I just realized that as I adjusted my hat here. So this is obviously I have no real ties to KU. This is not my hat. So someone left this at Outback, and it was sitting on Chris Rogers' vehicle, which is over by one of the porta potties and the kind of the garage area. So if anybody has a clue whose cap this is, or if you're checked in and this is yours, let me know and I'll get it to you. So in the meantime, I don't know, it fits my pinhead. So I'm just wearing it, repping KU here. Get some Jayhawk talk going on. Matt Elder, what's happening? All right, let's talk about Outback. It was great weather leading into it. Great weather all week. A little bit of rain. The trail was super dry, and we pre-rode Saturday, and it was hot. And it was 94, 95 degrees, just baking. And we watched the radar, and it looked good. And then, like, I don't know, 4 o'clock in the morning or 5 o'clock in the morning or something like that. And man, it unloaded on us for about an hour and a half, and then sprinkled a little bit before that. So, but it didn't do anything during race day, although there was a threat of some stuff coming in, and nothing happened. But we made some small adjustments to some of the races, and in hindsight, probably didn't have to do that. But Got the races in. Honestly, it was not really that muddy. Everybody thought it was going to be. I did. I thought it was going to be super muddy. It wasn't muddy in that you're just going to be sloshing around in it, and it's going to be in your, tearing your bikes up. But it was very, what I call it greasy. It's very slippery. Just a slight clay based trail, and just some of the areas were just slick as snot. Trying to put pressure down when you're trying to climb the rocks, just buzzing and spinning your back tires. So, I rode pretty much everything cleanly on Saturday, and there were a couple of areas where I had a little issue, but I was able to ride it. And then there was one big section that I just had to run both laps, and that was a modification that we made. The Cat 1s only did 2 laps just because looked like there was a storm coming in on us, and we didn't want to get caught out there in the rain. I mean, it turned out it didn't rain, but you're just kind of guessing at that point. So, Brandon Reed, I checked first, man. It's a pretty clean cap, no lice for me. So, I'm around. I mean, they're out of school now, but I'm around elementary kids all day. So, and high school kids, middle school kids. If I don't get stuff from them, I'm probably not going to get some from an adult hat. Jesse Walters, how are you? But because of the rain and because of, I guess I talked to some people in Oklahoma City. It just poured buckets in Oklahoma City. I think it scared a lot of people off. And it's unfortunate part about it is mountain bikers, for all their positives, are very fickle when it comes to weather. And we even had a bunch of people on site that came to the race and didn't race their bikes. So that's just part of the gig and what happens. But Corey Bowen, what's going on? Kai, I do love basketball, but I don't know. I don't follow it too much these days. So that's what I used to do back in the day. I used to be a basketball player before I discovered all this writing stuff. So, but the numbers were pretty low, but still it was a pretty fun event. I think the Cat 3 struggled a little bit just because they got the first dibs on the trail, first tires down, and it was just really slippery. But I think for the most part, everybody had a pretty good time. And then we rolled out with the Cat 1s and the Cat 2s. We all rolled 2 laps, and it was pretty slippery the first lap, but man, second lap, it really shaped up. And my second lap was actually pretty good. I'm fairly certain my second lap was much better than my first, just because the traction was so much better. So all around, it was a great event. And I still love that venue. And I think everybody had a pretty good time. I know the whole time we're riding, we can hear the kids and all the fans all up at that one area, that overlook where you can see people coming and going on several of the switchbacks. You could hear them the whole time you're riding down in that valley. It was pretty cool because you couldn't see them, but you could hear them, and so you couldn't see them until you got right up there. So, hey Desiree, what's happening? So I was pretty neat, and apparently the kids were having a good time because they were screaming and hollering the whole time we're out there racing and riding. So seems like pretty good stuff. Let's see. I don't know. I don't really have too much to say. I just, other than a couple of final shout outs. So, with us completing this, that'll put us 7 races in, 3 to go, summer break, and we'll finish up in September with our final 3 races. And I'll talk a little bit. Yeah, Daryl Stilson just popped in and said he had a good trail run. So I guess Daryl had a flat tire probably halfway in. 6-mile trail leaves you a 3-mile hike, or in his case, maybe a 3-mile jog. So Gabe says, yes, we were screaming. That was great because we could hear noises, but you couldn't really tell where they were coming from, just out on the course somewhere. So Jason, yes, actually, there was one small injury. It looks like we've talked to her, and I think she's going to be okay. I'm not sure the full status, but Jamie Whiteside crashed on her second lap, but finished still, and she hurt her thumb. So I think there's possibly a small fracture in the thumb palm area, but I don't know exactly the details. So Stephen Bruns says, who had the record for the most ticks? Man, I tell you, there'd be a lot of people in the running for that. So I didn't have a lot on race day, but boy, just sitting around the day before after we pre-rode, I think they were just crawling up on the ground because I didn't get any when I rode, but just sitting around afterwards in the chair, it's crazy. So, Scott Hutchins, Texas checking in. Matthew Armstrong says, so who's going to the dual slalom at Blackwell? I saw that post, and I haven't even had to check that against my calendar because I've got so many things going on. So I don't even know what the date on that is. So if someone knows has the link, can they post the link for the dual slalom at Blackwell? And we'll get that on here, and we can talk about that if anybody's interested. Oh yeah, Ryan Plum. This is 1.14 miles in and flatted, 100-yard hike uphill, and then he's done. So yeah, that was a bummer when I saw you hiking out. Okay, so I'm going to finalize a couple shout outs for Outback. First of all, I just want to thank Off Camber. Off Camber took this on kind of in a crunch for me. Our promoter that normally does Outback took their venue to Claremore, which turned out great, but I didn't find out about that until the last minute. So had to do some dancing, and luckily I knew Chris Rogers and Cole and all the off-camber guys, and I knew that they weren't doing an event and asked them if they would. They jumped on board and took this on with really, not even able to look at it or do anything. They just said yes, and did a good job. So also want to, just do my final shout out to Tori and Tim Miller. This is their land. This is private land. They own it. They live on it. And, they created this trail for all of us, and it's a wonderful trail. And we want to keep coming back. So, just remember that this exists out there, and it's open 24/7. They don't close this. So, if you guys have an off weekend and you need a place to ride and you're in the, Kellyville, Tulsa area, there you go. There's a trail you can go hit. So, let's see. Saturday for the dual slalom, taking the kids. Stephen Bruns said. Jeremy Black posted a link here, and looks like so did Matthew Armstrong. So, in Stillwater for photos. So, yes. So it looks like there's a couple links right now on the post. So, if you guys are interested in the dual slalom, which apparently it looks like it's this weekend, let me hit one of these and just see what happens. No. Yeah, it is this weekend, May 26th, Saturday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. So yeah, so there's a link for that Matthew brought up. So yeah, the dual slalom in Blackwell this weekend, this Saturday. We're not going to be there. We've got some other things going on, which I'll talk about here in a minute. So I just want to close out Outback there. If anybody has anything to say about that, then pop in and holler. But yeah, we closed the summer down, or we go into summer break with that. And like I said, we've got the bulk of our season out of the way. We've just got 3 races to fine tune and come in and knock out, and we'll see how that plays out September. In the meantime, we've got summer break, like I mentioned. So there's all kinds of things going on in the summer. Everybody kind of takes a little different direction. And, right out of the gate, we're going to be DK, Dirty Kansas. Several folks from Oklahoma will be doing that. I'm not doing it. I just go up there and sag and do support. Des is doing the 200. She's doing the 200 this year on her single speed. There'll be several people up there. I don't know who all's going. I mean, I know Heath's going. I think he's actually going to take his regular gravel bike and not his fat bike this year. So, and I'm sure there's tons of others. I'm just not sure. And then from there, we are going to do a lot of the Arkansas cross country series. So that's kind of our gig this summer. So we're going to be concentrating on Arkansas cross country after we get DK out of the way. Probably won't do any of Tulsa Tough nor OKC Pro-Am just because we can't squeeze it in with our schedules. We have done those in the past. Those are road events where you have fondos as well as crit racing on both of those weekends. Those are two big Oklahoma road weekends. And then there's a whole handful of Oklahomans that are probably going to go to cross country nationals in West Virginia, which I believe is the 4th week of July. So we'll be sending a pretty big crew up there to represent. We'll start. Let's see. I think I have some links here I can throw out there. And then there's also the Moonshine Summer Endurance Series. I'm posting a link now. I've mentioned this before, and I mentioned it in a post earlier today. So this is a summer marathon, 4-hour race, 6 to 10. Gives you a little bit of time in the daylight, and then lights come on, and you finish the race. I just posted the link to that. There's 3 sites, 3 venues. So, if you're looking for something to do in the summer, this is awesome, and should be super fun, as well as a cool style of 4-hour event. It's a little different than what you're used to. It's kind of neat. So enjoy that. And let's see. While we're at it, copy. I'm going to come back here and I'm going to pay. Moonshine Madness. I get to race since Richie's broken. Yeah. It's not technically Moonshine Madness, but close enough. We kind of stole the name a little bit there. And I'll post this one. This is the AMBUCS AMBCS race schedule. That's the Arkansas race schedule. We're going to be taking a pretty good size Oklahoma crew to several of these. So I mean, if you're interested, just know that we'll be rolling out to some of those. Let's see. While I'm copying and pasting, I prepared a little bit here, so I had some links. I'm going to paste this out there too. And so this is also part of what I use in the summer for training, just to you get good intensity, high intensity for 45 minutes, and it's fun. It's a cool environment, keeps it fresh, keeps it fun, but you're still getting your training in. So I'm doing the Draper Dirt Crit. So I'm off work on Friday, so I'll be up and doing that and don't have to worry about driving home. So it's kind of cool. So I'll be up there again this Thursday. I missed last Thursday just because I didn't want to drive twice. So don't admit things like that. I'm fair. Sometimes I'm too honest, Paula. I just say it like it is. So that's kind of the summer plan. I know there's probably other things going on, but that's what a lot of us are doing. A lot of people in my crew. I will say one thing that I'm doing this weekend. I honestly, I didn't realize that dual slalom was this weekend, but we're going to be in Lawton. So another pretty cool event, and a lot of us won off this one. It's a t-shirt ride. It's a 60-mile, 100K road ride. It's called Tour de Mears, and it's based out of the Mears Fire Department, and it's basically a fundraiser for their fire department. And they've been having it for years, and it's a cool event, cool route. I honestly haven't looked at the route this year. They changed it up a little bit last year because of a bridge outage, and I hope they keep the same route because I really enjoyed that last year. So anyway, that's what we're going to do. We're hoping to get a pretty big crew of Bike Lab and anybody else that wants to go. Maybe break it down into into two different groups, a fast group and a slow group. So if any of you guys are interested in coming down, let us know, and we'll see what we can do to accommodate and find a space for you in one of the groups. So Heath Arning, no problem, bud. Heath just checked in and says, hey, sorry he's late. Bike club volunteer, end of the year cookout and brews. So that's awesome. Doing such good work with the bike club and getting in schools and getting these kids interested in bikes and giving them access to things that they've never had access to before. So, props to them. A little blueberry vodka there. Ryan, Plum doubling up. He says they're going to be there at Tier de Mears and then hanging around Sunday to mountain bike. And who knows? I may do the same thing. I live close here, so I'll drive home. I won't stay up there, but I'm very well maybe back on Sunday to mountain bike too. All right. If there's anything else you guys can think of, just chime on in. I've just got a closing section here, and I want to talk about it just a little bit. Not going to get into it too deep, but I just want to cover a couple of things rule-wise, USAC rule-wise, and just things that we're trying to clamp down on a little bit. And I'll come back to that. We've got a couple comments. So, in the same bike club, Oklahoma Flyers arena, again, we've got really two main focuses. We've got Tulsa and we've got Oklahoma City. Both of these metro areas are really taking a step up, and we're loving the leadership that we're getting from both of these great communities. And I'm hoping that with their success, eventually over the next 2, 3, 4 years, we can move it out in some of the, some of the more rural areas. Obviously, you're probably not. It's going to be very hard to support some of that out, in areas where I live, just because of the nature of very small rural schools. But there are plenty of other schools that are larger that could support this. I think Altus, Stillwater, Lawton, Enid area is fairly solid. I don't know. I'm just throwing out names around here. So eventually it'd be good. Alyssa Lutz popped in and says, another awesome turnout at Bluff Creek for the Oklahoma Flyers. So this is their Tuesday ride that they do every Tuesday with a bunch of kids, and they've been averaging 30 plus kids every time they do this on Tuesdays. So where do you find 30 kids riding bikes all at the same time and having a good time and doing it right? It's great. So, and I love what these people are doing for them, and I think everybody's getting a little bit of something out of it. So Heath says, in Tulsa, Bike Club got over 10,000 miles and over 1 million calories burned this year for the club. So very cool. That's a lot. That is, and I think the big thing there, Heath, is not that you guys got 10,000 miles and you've got kids to burn 1 million calories. But the fact is that you did that with kids that would have done none of that. It's not like you pushed them and got them to do more. You got kids to do this that would never have done that before at all. So they went from 0 miles ridden to over 10,000 miles ridden. So that's the big picture there for me, is that you guys are reaching kids that otherwise would never be reached. And that's kudos to you guys, and anything that I can do to help spread that is what I want to do. So Bob Davis popped in and says summer break starts for him Wednesday, so his calendar's wide open. Very cool. There's a lot of us that way too that work for schools, and I've got to work another week and a half, a couple weeks probably. So I've got like 6-7 days, and then I'm free and clear as well too. So, and Bob says he's going to work with Midwest City next year because that's where he's working, and he's hoping to help promote some bike club activity in his school. So cheers. Good stuff. Okay. I'll keep looking for comments, and you guys keep commenting, and I'll come back and talk about everything that you guys want to. I want to cover two things. I think I'm going to try to start doing this a little bit every time now, just like maybe pick one thing. I'm going to pick two things that are rule-based stuff, and I'm going to talk about them. I'm so used to dealing with just the day-to-day activity of a race. I talked a little bit about one of the rules and even told the story about the bar ends, bar plugs, in case Howard's out there. So sorry, you guys had to tune in and see the very end of that live feed to get what I'm talking about there. But anyway, talked a little story about there and about officials, and there's always little rules and little things that a lot of us just know, and that's because I've been doing it a long time. I don't really think about it. And even if I don't know the exact rule, I kind of know the general idea, and I know what it's supposed to be, and I know what I'm supposed to do and what I'm not supposed to do. And I think a lot of us just forget that at one point in time, we didn't know that. And there's a lot of you guys that probably don't have a clue. So most of the time, we're very lenient, and, you may get yelled at, or, you may get, someone may say, hey, you need to go do this. And it's just really a verbal warning is all it is. And that's pretty much the extent of it. And most of the time, that's all it ever is. However, often, officials have to go a step further. So I want to talk about two things. First of all, helmet rule. Okay. I know a lot of you roll your eyes when Desiree yells at you to tell you to put your helmet on. Desiree is one of our officials, along with Tom. Lacey also helps us sometimes, but those are, Tom and Desiree are our two main officials. The two guys you see, you know who they are. And Des is typically the one yelling at you to put your helmet on. Hell, she yelled at me, 2 races ago because I didn't have it on. She was right. So I stopped. I went back to my car, put my helmet on. Into that. So it's a rule. We're not just making this stuff up. We don't just make these rules and say, okay, this is going to be a Tour de Dirt rule. We are a USA Cycling sanctioned event. So we are following the guidelines given to us via USA Cycling. This is a rule. Desiree sent me the rule book. I'm not reading it because I'd have to, again, go to one of my other tabs that I have open, and I already have like 20 open. So, but basically, it just says that. If you're in an event or at an event, it doesn't matter that you're just, yes, you obviously have to have it on when you're racing, and you have to wear it when you're racing. You can't take it off. But you have to have it on during the entire time of the permitted day. So if it's a 2-day event, like it's a Saturday and a Sunday event, you can't ride around Saturday without your helmet on, period. It's just the rule because it's during the event. Now, once the event's over, everything's done, awards are over, the officials have taken their jerseys off, and hey, you can do whatever you want to. But until that point in time, and there is an active event going on, helmets required. And if you look at the rule book, believe it or not, there's kind of 3 levels of it. You can get a warning. If you do it again, you can be disqualified from your event. If you continue to do it and you're warned and a third time, you can actually be fined $20. And that is in the rules. That is in the USA Cycling rules. Now, obviously, it'll never come to that. It'll never come to, I've never even seen it come to a disqualification. Although there's been a few incidents that, people have been a little, belligerent about it and have gotten close. But typically it's a warning. Everybody's good. We're all, it's no big deal. So, we've never, issued a fine. So, but it happens. Little John. when we get caught without a helmet, we have to buy ice cream for everybody. Hey, I'm okay with that too, but I don't think that's an official USAC rule. Go some light here. Let's see what we got here. Matthew Armstrong. What do you say here? Let's see. This summer, he will be building a trail for Eagle Scout project at Crowder Lake. Hey, Matthew, holler at me when you go to do that, bud. I mean, heck, I'm a Southwestern alum, and I know that's Southwestern property. I used to ride my bike out there. I grew up in Weatherford, dude. So I'm just, I'm an hour from there. So yeah, so you start that project, you start working on that, man. Give me a shout, and I'll come out. I used to actually do some riding out there. I mean, there was no trail, but there was some just fisherman paths and things like that go up and around the backside of that dam, and then up and over the dam and over on the other side. I don't know that we can access the other side over there anymore because I think that's private property and pretty much all blocked off. But who knows if we can find the owners. But anyway, Matthew, give me a shout out when you start making that happen, and I'll see if I can come help you out. All right. One more rule. And honestly, I've never really thought about this one until, I guess, really this year. Mainly because I just knew that it was a rule, and I knew that you weren't supposed to do this kind of stuff. But I guess we had some issues last year at a couple of events that I honestly heard about them after the fact, and really nothing we could do about it. But we've had several incidents this year alone, and we even had to discipline a rider this year already for this particular thing, and that is that if there is an active event occurring, which means we have a race in progress, you're not allowed on the course. So we have a lot of people, and unfortunately a lot of times it's Cat 1s that are trying to come in and get a quick ride in while the Cat 3s are going. They try to ride in behind them or be out on the course and try to get a little, pre-ride in before their event. And the simple fact is you guys can't do that. You're not supposed to do that. I don't care if you're not in the way. It doesn't matter if you're riding in behind them. It doesn't matter, if you're yielding fully. It does not matter. You are not supposed to be on the trail with your bike and your helmet riding at all during an active event unless it is your event. So let's clean that up and let's make sure that that does not happen. If you're going to pre-ride the day of the race, then you need to be there early enough that you can take off and get your ride in and get done before the Cat 3s take off. And then you also need to be aware of the fact that often we will use a portion of the course for our Kids Cup. So you need to be sure and avoid that. But you have to be off course by the time the Cat 3s start. Simple as that. So you just need to make that happen. And again, the rules say if you're caught doing it, you can be warned and then you can be DQ'd. And it goes further. I mean, you can be removed from the series and things like that. So just be smart. Do what you're supposed to do. So what's up, Brandon? Brandon Nesbitt says late to the party. So, hey, late's better than nothing. So Steve Cordes didn't check in. This is 2 weeks in a row. So Kai, you need to tell your dad to check in. I still got a little bit of this left. I was going to show him this. See if he remembers this. Alrighty, guys. We're at 34 minutes, and I'm about ready to call it a day. I don't have anything more on the subject. I do want to open up the floor for some ideas, though. With summer upon us, I do have things that I'm going to be doing, so I'll be talking about during my updates the things that I normally do, but obviously Tier to Dirt's on hiatus for a while. Stuff's still going on, and I'll continue to talk about that. But if you guys have any particular subjects or things that you want to talk about, just hit me up I mean, there's multiple ways to get a hold to me. You can get a hold to me through email from OKTDD. You can do Facebook. A lot of you have my phone number, and you can text or call me. That's all good. So just throw some ideas out my way, and we'll start developing some updates for the following. Looks like I'm still going to be working next Tuesday, so I'll be back here again. But the following Tuesday, I should be off work. If not, I'll be close enough that I think I can go ahead and bail on Tuesday. So I'll be able to do my Wizard update from another venue. So I'm looking right now and trying to decide, how I want to go about that. But if you guys have any ideas of some cool places to host one, then let me know, and maybe I can make it happen. So, obviously for me, OKC is a good place, but I mean, I can go elsewhere too. I'm 2 hours from OKC, so it's a little hard to go too much further than that. But yeah, so let me know. Let me know if you have any ideas. Alex pops in and says, cool. Alex Canada's doing some work. Works for AEP, and he's up in the Panhandle right now, and says says apparently there's some trails up there, so he'll check them out and let us know. So awesome, do that. I know there's tons of gravel up there, so there's some trails too. Figure it out and let us know, man. We'll have to get them, go up there and do some exploring. So, all right, guys, this is my shortest one ever. 37 minutes in, and I'm done. So I think we covered all the. I think I hit all the comments. I don't think I missed anybody, and I think we're good to go. So. Again, if you guys want to come join us Saturday, Tour de Mears, it meets at the Mears Fire Station. Sometimes I don't meet there. Sometimes I just jump in with a group because I'm always running late and never make it. But anyway, just let us know and we'll try to get a plan. So peace out. Maybe see you this weekend, and if not, I'm sure I'll see you this summer doing one of the many things that we do. So Jason Agilkey, right before I close up, he just popped in and says Salt Plains Lake has trails too. That's a place out there where you can do during certain times of the year. You can go out there and dig for crystals. Isn't that right, Jason? I think that's right. Been out there many, many, many years ago. So. Okay, guys. Peace out. We'll see you.